Do you think it resonates when you hear one of their own going in on the buffoons at the Capitol? Take a look at this viral redneck who is disgusted at the way these other rednecks made him look and the way they tried to overthrow the government. Y'all gonna love this. Kick back, enjoy. 2 minutes worth of popcorn. Here we go.
I hope you're fucking happy and sad, you fucking little piss pants pieces of shit. Ooh, we're gonna storm the Capitol. Let's storm the Capitol. We're patriots. You're a fucking coward. Patriots. Jesus Christ. Fucking idiots that I played high school football with wearing a goddamn American flag bandana talking about we gotta get up there and storm. We gotta take our country back. From what? From fucking what? What are you so goddamn upset about? What has anyone ever done to you? You fucking entitled piece of shit. Don't you ever fucking call me one again. Don't you ever say, Corey, you fucking snowflake. You're a liberal. That means that y'all look. What? Want some people to not be sick every now and then? Is this the thing that you can't fucking stand? So you've got to get in your goddamn fucking piece of shit Ford F-150 you got from your dad, drive it to D.C. and pitch a fucking fit? Is that what it is? Is it health care? Is it still with the fucking guns? Is that what is it? You said Obama was taking them. 8 fucking years ago you said that. Nothing. What is it that this country hasn't fucking given you? You literally got escorted out of the Capitol building, aside from the ones that they had to fucking shoot. Is that what it takes? Did you just want to be a fucking martyr? God, you're so fucking pathetic. Do you not ever just sit there and think, my kids are going to see this. My grandkids are going to see this. They're going to put it in the textbook, and you're going to look like the dumbest motherfucker in the world. Nobody will give a shit about Watergate. Nobody. That is fucking... Dude, I'm out of breath from how stupid y'all are. What is it that this country doesn't give you that you think you have to do some bullshit like this? But when you see a fucking black person actually get shot, no gun in their hands, nothing. Oh, they should just comply. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. What is your goddamn problem? Just quit embarrassing me, man. I want my fucking country back. How about that? God damn it. Fuck y'all, you fucking cowards.
Larry, he ain't lie. he ain't lie.
Right?
He basically said what we have been saying, only we said it a little bit more elegant than what he said. But he is one of them. You hear his accent, you see what he's wearing. He is one of them, and he's ashamed. He's embarrassed. He's upset. He don't even know why they mad, and he's white. Give it to you first, Larry. Reaction to that brother's rant. I could go and have coffee with that guy.
I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. I think he ended it properly where he said, I want my country back. All this crazy neo-Nazi, Confederate, racist bullshittery. It's very much American, but at the same time, America's changing, and people, we don't want that. No. We don't want that. We want the America that we were promised. We don't want to go back. We don't want to go back to 75 years ago, 100 years ago, whatever. We want the America that we were promised, the greatness that America is supposed to be. I mean, can you imagine if you're told, oh yeah, save up your money, go ahead and save up, 75 grand. I'm going to take you down there. We're going to get you a brand new Tesla, brand new, spanking new, all the bells and whistles. And then you end up getting a Ford Fusion or a Prius. You'll be like, that's some straight up bullshit. That's basically what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to take us back and make us drive Priuses when we should be driving Teslas. We want the country we were promised. I mean, that's what it is. I'm glad this dude said something. I mean, sometimes it takes people's own for them to get through to each other. Sometimes they have to hear it from their own to get it and for it to sink in. Black people are the same way. Sometimes black people get on some bullshit, and it takes another black person to sit them down and be like, all right, brother, let me just go ahead and break this down for you, because what you're saying is just wrong. And sometimes we can get through to each other. So maybe if we have more people like him that are willing to speak up and speak out, maybe we can get through to some of them. Some of them we're not, because some of those people up there are the lowest common denominator of this country. They are the lowest of pond scum that's out there. They talk about the swamp. They are that deep, dark, ugly, bacteria-filled infectious sediment that is 2 feet below the lowest layer of that swamp. Those are the people that are out there that are wearing Camp Auschwitz shirts and part of, you know, those groups saying that 6 million isn't enough, and all the other neo-Nazi bullshit, and all the Confederates, all those people, there's no space for them. There's no quarter for them. Those people should be, they should be set aside from society. There's nothing you can do with them. All they are going to do is foment hate and discontent, and they need to be set aside from society, because there is no place in polite society for them. Now, there are people out there that have been like that. They have seen the error of their ways, whether it be because they had a kid or they met somebody that of an opposite race that changed their life and changed the way they thought. Maybe Jesus just came into their life and they realized this is absolute lunacy. There are people who have changed their ways. And if those people are willing to change their ways, if they're willing to come back and say, hey, you know what? I was off. I was led astray by myself or by my family or by the president, by whoever. I know I was wrong and I need to repent and move forward in a more positive manner. I think that our country is a place where people can be forgiven and move forward. But it has to be real. It can't be any of this. We're not in power right now. We still want to have the comforts of our everyday life. So we're just gonna go ahead and go stay quiet and go along to get along. No, those people need to be reckoned with. You know, but if they're willing to come and put their bullshit aside, then I mean, it's America. I guess you welcome them back into the fold. But if they start acting up again, then you treat them twice as severely as you would before, because now they've lied and betrayed you again.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yep. T-Streams, on you, my brother.
Yeah, and you know, that's honest. To be perfectly honest with you, even though it was funny, it was hilarious, I'm starting to see a few people come out. Matter of fact, George Clooney came out. I think it was yesterday, and he was just straight bashing, and so a few other people are following suit. And to be perfectly,
Arnold Schwarzenegger came out and just ripped Trump and Trumpism and those people at that riot.
Yeah, and especially once that little video of them huddled up in that little tenant bunker got to floating around.
T-Streams, come on, man. You T-Streams, what the fuck, man? While a riot is going on in the Capitol, you and Kimberly non-dancing ass Guilfoyle is in there dancing to the hits, the 80s hits, shaking and dancing and shucking and jiving, while they is over there going to get Mike Pence, your vice president. What the hell, man? Come on, man.
Yeah. So honestly, man, it's stuff like that that's actually needed. I said a long time ago, and some didn't really agree with me. Maybe it was the way I said it. I don't think that we as a people can carry the agenda strictly by ourselves, because there's still too much resistance against us. And we're going to need allies, with different pigmentation to come in and serve as a go-between to a certain degree on some aspects, because some of those people have platforms that we're not privileged to have, or have platforms and the charisma to carry a message on to some of those who are blinded by whatever this is that's causing them to behave and act and believe in the things that they're currently doing. So I'm glad to see people speaking out. So the question then becomes, now that they're speaking out, what's next? So because this is an existing problem. Okay, the problem is not resolved. So we have us on one end. We're pleading our case. We're speaking our social injustices, and we're speaking our feelings and we're letting it be heard. But to the most part, a lot of things are still being overlooked. So like I said, so with some of them now coming out speaking their disgrace and and their embarrassment behind it, because it is embarrassment. It's embarrassing because right now the U.S. is the laughing stock of the entire world. What once was looked at as a superpower to not be reckoned with is in some people's eyes looking as like we're a joke right now. And
a straight clown show.
Yeah, and to some people with really, really malice intentions, that that could be fuel to provoke, that could be fuel to build up guts, to build up balls, to do the things that you was once debating on whether or not you want to do. Because believe it or not, the U.S. still has a lot of enemies. Okay, the U.S. still has a lot of enemies, and I can almost guarantee that our enemies are right there on the boob tubes, watching everything that's going on, and they probably saying we don't even have to fool with them. They're gonna destroy their own selves. And so I'm glad to see people like this man speaking out. I would like to see more people that's not afraid of or to put their white privilege at risk to speak up and actually really mean it. Because it's one thing to speak it and mean it, and it's totally different to speak it just to go viral or to get laughs and jokes and stuff like that. Because this is really a serious situation, man. People are going to continue to die for this cause until it's eradicated. People are going to continue to go to jail. Hatred is going to be at an all-time high, and until all of this stuff comes to a head and seems to be resolved. Will it ever be resolved? I doubt it. I really don't think that this is a situation that's going to be resolved. If it will, I don't think it would be in my lifetime. Would I like to see it? Yes, but the tension is too hard right now. The tension is too hard, between races in our country, and so it is what it is, my man.
Well, it's Larry tagged me in a tweet AOC put out, because there's been a lot of hand wringing of Republican media, Republican talk show hosts, a lot of hand wringing of what happened to try to correlate this to the movement of Black Lives Matters, when it's two different things. Black Lives Matters is fighting for equality. Right. What are these fools fighting for? They're fighting for white privilege, to keep things where they're in a status quo position. And then they're fighting for a lie to say that Trump won an election that was stolen from him, which is a complete lie. And they are getting away with stuff that other people can't get away with. But AOC made a post, and I'm going to paraphrase it. It was to the event of Republicans are trying to say, look, you need to let Trump be, let him go off into the sunset, because we need you and the Democrats to bring the country together. And AOC echoed what I'm saying to myself and what me and Larry say to each other privately. There is no unity with people that want to control other people, that people that think that they are the superior race over other people. There is no unity. The unity you get is you throw their asses in jail, you stomp out Trumpism, and you take their leader and you hang him out to dry too. That's how you bring people together, by showing that law and order is fair. That's the unity you get. You cannot bring unity together with someone who's a white supremacist. No, it don't work like that. And so now we're at a point where Nancy Pelosi not only is going after Trump, but did you guys know, I know Larry knows, but T-Streams, did you know there was 145 House members?
47.
147 that voted to keep Trump in power, even though they just seen what happened on Wednesday.
Right. Yeah, and they getting some backlash back in their little states and stuff, I heard as well. Yeah, that's absolutely terrible, man.
That's traitors. I mean, think about it, T-Streams. You're voting for a man who just tried to overthrow the government. You're voting to keep him in power, And Nancy Pelosi is about to bring up an article to try to get them out of their job too. And you know what? I heard Republicans, oh, it's too many of it. Fuck that. If 50 million people, black people, march to Washington and say they hate this country, they're going to overthrow the country, do you think they would not hesitate to try to put us all in jail? Come on.
Oh, they would find us and we would be in jail.
They would send us to the moon as long as they could lock our ass up.
You know, here's the thing is that I know a lot of people are calling for unity. They're calling for Joe Biden to bring the country together. And I'm not against that. But in order for that to happen, there has to be a reckoning, that things have to come to a head, and it has to be where those people are coming to us. It can't be we're going to go say, okay, these are these seditionists, these racists, these neo-Nazis, and we're going to meet them somewhere in the middle. We can't do that. We've already seen what happens with this. And a lot of historians, if you ask them, they will tell you one of the greatest failures of this country after the Civil War was not making the South have some sort of punishment. You have to punish those people. Instead, what they did is they said, we want to unite the country, and they let those people go on about their daily lives without any punishment. And we've seen where that has taken us over the last 200 years. We have lived in a divided country the entire time, where you have the South, which is racist and horrible, still today, to this day, talking about the South will rise again and carrying these they're not even Confederate flags. I mean, the thing was never even adopted. It was just a symbol of hate, really. That's really what it is. It is just their symbol of hate. But there was no punishment. And these people never changed their way of thinking. In a lot of ways, they never changed their way of acting. And because of that, it led to the fall of Reconstruction, which was our country was going in this beautiful, glorious way and direction. Our country probably would have been an enormous, even more of a powerhouse now. We would have not have been the theoretical beacon on the hill. We would have been the actual beacon on the hill. Our country would have been so bright. But they screwed up Reconstruction, and we can't allow that to happen again. These people have to be punished severely. When people stand up against the country like this in an illegal way, and I'm not someone that says that you can't stand up against your country. I, as a black person in America, understand the importance of being able to stand up without fear against your country and say change needs to happen. But you can't do it in a seditious manner. You can't say, I lost an election, my guy lost an election, and I'm pissed off, and so I'm going to try and take over the country. You can't do that. And those people need to be punished. And before they're welcomed back into the fold of polite society, there has to be two things that have to, one of two things. Either you have to dispatch their thinking, or you have to dispatch them. That's it. I know it sounds effed up. It sounds harsh. It sounds ugly. No one wants to think about what that means. But you either have to get rid of their thinking, or you have to get rid of them, because they cannot coexist in our society and think we're going to have a peaceful society. It's not going to happen.
And so right now, those same individuals are planning on Inauguration Day to go to each capital of all our states, all 50 states, with armed militias. This is if you want to bring this country together, like Larry said, like I've been saying, you have to stomp their ass out. You have to detach Trumpism and that mindset that started before Trumpism. You've got to detach that from them. And you do that through law and order.